We just ran into Tom Gerber of Parks Associates here on the show floor. Tom, you look at a lot of the things around smart home and so forth. So what has impressed you so far at the show?
Well, I think it's interesting to see the new products that are coming out. So there's obviously the core business models from the telecoms, and they're out in the field. But you're seeing a lot of startups, people who are just looking to sell hardware and really no recurring revenue from a smart home. So there's some guys in the Zigbee booth, as well as maybe 2 or 3 players like that. So it'll be interesting to see how those different business models pan out.
Do you see some kind of disruptive models in the sense?
Well, the idea of just being able to sell the hardware and a consumer would be able to monitor all their home control devices without paying a recurring fee, which is the case with both the security-based products as well as the telecom-based products offerings. So I think I don't know how they'll pan out. Obviously, the security and the telecom guys have much bigger marketing power, and these guys are just startups. But it's interesting and potentially could be disruptive.
Well, and from the large manufacturers, your appliance manufacturers and so forth, it seems like they're starting to implement things that were standards, on paper earlier, right?
Yeah, the appliance guys, that's another kind of another development I was tracking kind of closely, is that the appliance manufacturers have been talking about connected appliances for a lot of times, but now we're seeing some products that are going to be into the market. I was at the Showstoppers event last night, and Decor has a connected oven with pretty cool user interface and very surprising features you wouldn't think would be in an oven. A full video and audio system, trying to capture that user experience and integrate it with the cooking processing. So I think there's a lot of very interesting products that are coming out, and it's very exciting time to kind of watch that.
And what do you think the consumer adoption on that kind of thing is? At first, it sounds so ridiculous,
Well, and that product in particular is more on the luxury line, so it's going to be, a relatively small adoption just because, on the premium appliance line. But I think that mainstream manufacturers like Whirlpool, who is also in the Mommy Tech Zone over at the Venetian, they're kind of targeting not just the luxury line, but maybe like the mid-tier line. So I think certainly we'll start to see a hockey stick in terms of growth when it goes into that value tier, where just made for the mass market, but I think that might be a couple years off. But certainly, I think that the seeing it at the premium is the first point, and that time has arrived.
And what about the standards? As far as are you seeing any trends of what they're adopting, what the manufacturers are adopting?
Well, on the appliance side, I think the AHEM is the appliance manufacturer organization, and they're working using the Smart Energy Profile 2.0 standard and building upon that. So building some of the base functionality for refrigerator, dishwasher, all the kind of standard white good appliances. And that standards process looks like it's kind of developing rather well. So I think that'll help also consolidate and make it more likely that more of the mid-tier and value tier products kind of come to market.
And I remember a couple years ago talking to one of the appliance manufacturers, and at that point they were kind of making it modular, so the physical interface would be kind of, here it is. Is that kind of changing?
Well, I think the idea behind that is you kind of wanted to hedge your bets.
Yeah.
Right, you don't necessarily know what the protocol is. I think some of the major guys have, for example, Whirlpool said we're going to move to Wi-Fi. The guys I mentioned, Decor, so similar Wi-Fi. Okay. So I'm not sure that there's the need to hedge your bet, if you will. But if you go with a product like Wi-Fi, but certainly other protocols like power line carrier or some things for appliances that may not be say within the range of a Wi-Fi, so maybe outside your kitchen, okay, or if your laundry room's in the basement, for example, maybe some other technologies would have to be pursued. But I think for the most part, it seems like there's a lot of convergence around Wi-Fi on the appliance side.
Okay, well, super, Tom. Look forward to catching up with you next month and learning more.
Okay,
so
great.
Thank you. Good luck with the show.
Yeah.